They saying this IG thotty right here lured her boyfriend's ops on a first date and then watched her boyfriend unalive his op. You gotta close that back door. You can't get snaked out by these thotties.
When Jarrell Pryor agreed to meet a woman he connected.
Come on, man, automatically, folks. If she out here like that, well, she thought. It ain't nothing good finna come out of you putting your pee-pee inside of a thotty. Do your homework on pee-pee and thotty.
With online, he thought it was just a first date. He had no idea it would be his last night alive. Jarrell was a proud father, a girl dad. Now that little girl has to face a world without him. No more bedtime stories, no father-daughter dances, and one day, no dad waiting at the end of the aisle to walk her into a new chapter of life.
That's crazy. That's
what
sick,
started
bro.
as a simple night out allegedly ended in a deadly setup. Indianapolis police say Jarrell was ambushed, allegedly lured into a trap by the very woman he'd hoped to get to know. She reportedly was not alone. Detectives believe she was working with her boyfriend. An alleged plan to rob Jarrell turned violent and ended in murder.
Now, you know what that means automatically? See, this thotty right here, let me tell y'all something about thotties. Let me put y'all on a little bit of game before we keep watching this video right here. If you get on Instagram and she's talking about sucking D-nose and sucking D-nose and sucking D-nose, she half naked, she look like a prostitute gang, ain't nothing good finna come out of that, folks. Find you a nice, wholesome, good girl that ain't showing her ass all out on the Instagram. Ain't got a tittle biggies all on it. You feel me? Because 9 times out of 10, some might come from that. You know what I'm saying? But ain't nothing good finna come from these thotties, gang. I promise y'all. I promise y'all. I promise y'all. Nothing's finna come from these overly thotty thoughts who you think is just some easy butt real quick. You see she going, so yo pee-pee get all excited and you like, ooh, this finna be some easy butt. No, nigga. Ain't nothing. It's either finna be some nasty butt, it's gonna be some setup butt, it's gonna be some unalive butt, or it's gonna be some stank butt.
I'm trying to tell you. To rob Jarrell turned violent and ended
It's not her first rodeo
I'm
either.
Kennedy Walker, and I'll walk you through the chilling final moments of Jarrell Pryor's life and the twisted betrayal that left a community searching for justice. For this story, we take you to Indianapolis, Indiana, January
It's cracking out there in Indy,
2025. According to court documents obtained by Law and Crime, Jarrell Pryor's murder began with a text and ended with an alleged deadly setup. Just hours before he was killed, police say Jarrell messaged a young woman he'd met online, 19-year-old Alexis Hawkins. The message was just 3 words: when you free. The affidavit says Hawkins responded. She told him when she was available and agreed to go on a date. But here's where the story takes a dark turn. While she was allegedly texting Jarrell, Hawkins was reportedly messaging someone else on Instagram, her boyfriend, 18-year-old Brian Winston Jr. Investigators say Hawkins was working out the details of her date with Pryor while secretly coordinating with Winston behind the scenes. Jarrell had no idea, no clue that Hawkins was in a relationship or that anything could go wrong. It was just a date, and maybe, if things went well, a chance to meet up again. But police say it was never about the date, it was a trap. That night, Jarrell met Hawkins in person. They sat together in his car, and shortly before 1 a.m., Hawkins' boyfriend allegedly...
And rest in peace to little bro. So many mistakes that I'm trying to teach you young niggas about right now, folks. First of all, if a girl trying to meet up anytime past about 7, 8 o'clock, no. What are you talking about? If you meeting up with a girl for the first time, you meet her in the daytime. You know what I'm saying? You might pick her up from the crib or whatever, but sir, you either pick her up from the crib or you tell her to come meet you somewhere, shorty. You feel me? You don't never come at no 1 o'clock. This is my first time meeting you and I'm pulling up at 1 o'clock to sit in the car. No sirski, double-oski, broski. Now, I'm not saying you can't get robbed in the daytime, but your chances is a lot lower, folks.
Appeared and opened fire. Jarrell Pryor.
I want to put y'all on to some of the easiest money you'll ever make in your life. Freecash.com is a website that allows you to literally get paid hundreds of dollars just for playing video games on your phone. All you need is an email and a password. Follow the directions on each of the campaigns and you can earn at least $100. My personal favorite game to play was Sunrise Island, and when I clicked on it, they had a $370 bonus. I got $370 just for playing a video game on my phone. On average, it only takes about 17 minutes for most people to start earning money on freecash.com. So if you need some free, easy, extra money, Go to freecash.com, click the QR code right here, or go in the description below and start getting that bag. You did?
Just 26 years old.
Wait, what happened?
Appeared together in his car, and shortly before 1 a.m., Hawkins' boyfriend allegedly appeared and opened fire. Jarrell Pryor, just 26 years old, was shot and killed. A young father.
He was 26 too? Man, that's enough. Don't be talking to these little young, little fast, little thotties, bro. You 26, get you a 22-year-old. You feel me?
Now gone. His daughter, just 2 years old,
that's crazy
left
though.
Behind. As police began their investigation,
they
discovered the messages between Pryor and Hawkins. They then obtained a warrant to search Hawkins' Instagram account, and what they allegedly found raised even more red flags. Investigators say she searched phrases like news today near me, and shootings Keystone, all on the day of the murder. Police also discovered that Hawkins had allegedly messaged several people asking for a ride near the location of the shooting around the time Jarrell was killed. When detectives questioned Hawkins the following week, she allegedly claimed she couldn't remember much about that night. She reportedly insisted she didn't have a weapon and told police, "No weapon to say I did anything. My fingerprints aren't on anything." When asked if her fingerprints might be found inside of Jarrell's car, Hawkins reportedly replied, "It's not going to be on no weapon, though." But the moment investigators asked about a message she sent saying,
"Man, you was a thought. You going to jail. You think you finna get out of it and all that, but you going to jail. Lock her ass up." FBI, open up! Like, girls like this, gang, is the devil. Before I'm telling y'all be thinking these girls is all nice and cute and pretty and oh my God. You be thinking all that, for if these bitches be the devil, gang. That's why I lock it down. I'm locking it down. It ain't gonna be too much more time. Y'all gonna see Mula not married. I'm finna sit my ass on by the sunset because you feel me? Look how many problems you avoid by just having a girl, just having a wife, having a girlfriend. I'm not outside at 1 o'clock in the morning trying to do nothing. 1 o'clock in the morning, I'm high or sleep. Do your homework.
She was going to make a, quote, play, Hawkins allegedly stopped talking and asked for a lawyer. She was arrested shortly after and charged with murder and robbery resulting in serious bodily injury. Winston was charged as well with murder, felony murder, and robbery. Now, Jarrell's family is left to pick up the pieces. His parents, once looking forward to watching their son become the man and father he aspired to be, are now raising the little girl he left behind. His mother, Tamika Wiley, told WXIN, "I'm broken inside." And just weeks ago, Jarrell's parents celebrated their granddaughter's third birthday, a milestone that should have been filled with joy, laughter, and her father's love. Instead, it was a day marked by absence. No Jarrell, no hugs from dad, just a little girl too young to understand why her dad never came home.
And I'm trying to figure out, like, gang, what you was finna rob? I don't see no jewelry on this nigga. He don't look like, I'm looking at his crib, right? And I'm not trying to be funny and none of that. I'm just being logical. I'm looking at his crib right now. It don't look like he's staying in no mansion. You didn't rob him in no rich area. This nigga got on some Jordans, some skinny jeans, and a motherfucking Friends hoodie. What you was finna rob him for? His baby, what you was finna rob him for? That was finna do something for you. You rob a nigga with a Rolex, okay, that's $20,000. I understand that. You rob a nigga with cash on him all the time, okay, you take $4,000 from him, okay, that's a quick $4,000, I get it. What the fuck you robbing him for? The Jordans? I don't think it was no robbery, bro. I think, and if it was a robbery, it was a petty, goofy robbery. I think the dude, the boyfriend, is just a weirdo. That's what I think.
Justice may come in a courtroom, but for this family, the real sentence is living without Jarrell. And joining me to talk more about this is legal expert Andy Baldwin. Andy, thank you so much for joining me today. Let's just jump right in. How does a case like this typically move through the Indiana legal system once charges are filed?
Well, the first thing that's going to happen is these two defendants are going to have to get lawyers. And so
man, they ain't got no damn money for no damn lawyers. Man, listen, man, I'm finna skip past bro part, but
action
look
with
at
your
this
lawyers
thought.
And figuring out what you're going to do.
This chief thought ain't got no money.
In my world, you have some time to kind of dig into the facts, dig into the evidence, and see exactly what the state has. But in a case like this, when you have two people that are co-defendants, you may need to go to the prosecutor to get that deal first if you are in fact guilty.
And what
they
are the
guilty.
first steps that prosecutors take after an arrest in a homicide case? What do you think they're doing right now behind the scenes?
Man, fuck all. I ain't gonna keep watching this shit. Rest in peace to bro. Ma'am, folks that unalive, you're done.
Bruh. Ladies and gentlemen, we got him.
See y'all ass in January 2094. For them grades.